Matt Gray is here on the Blaze Radio Network.
No rap, no hard rock, no sleepy elevator music. Just the best mix of the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s, to date and tomorrow.
And you're going to need them today, Pat, because it's a little cold out there.
It is. You're right about that, Jeffy.
Cold out there.
It's a little chilly out there. It's a little nipply in the air this morning.
Sure is.
What is it, 25? That's what it said.
Well,
in my
here
car.
in North Texas.
Yeah, 25.
Cold front across the country, though. Most places being affected by this polar vortex.
Mm-hmm. Used to just be a cold front. It's an Arctic cold front.
No.
It's Canadian air. Now it's a polar vortex.
You too will be affected
by the polar vortex. So, like, the whole country is in this polar vortex.
Pretty much.
Almost the whole country.
Yeah, I mean, it's Florida's going to be down to 60.
No.
So
down to 60.
They could barely survive.
Burr. It's really cold here.
Really cold.
And I don't know if I've just become a sissy, like a baby, because I live in Texas now, and I've lived in Texas for a long time, and I'm not used to it anymore, or if it's just really colder here when it's 25 than it is anywhere else in the country when it's 25.
Well, I mean, I think it's obvious that climate change has affected everything.
You're right. That's what it is. It's exactly what it is. It's climate change. Climate change makes it feel colder than it is.
No doubt about it.
So,
I mean, it's supposed to be like the coldest it's been here in decades. This weekend and the first part of next week.
Yeah, since we've lived here, we moved here in 2012, and it's never been. I mean, the high on Monday I think is supposed to be 19. 19. That's never happened. I don't think it's ever. No. The high hasn't gotten out of the teens since we've lived here.
And I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that that's pretty cold.
That's cold. Yeah, it's
pretty cold.
Slightly chilly.
We may not have been adjusted to the cold weather here in North Texas, but that's pretty cold.
Yeah, it is. And I love the like this misty drizzle that's happening right now outside.
Yeah, the cross between the rain and snow, and it's cold,
and it just freezes instantly on your windshield. It's fun.
Ice.
Yeah,
right now, just ice.
And it's freezing all over the freeways, the roadways, all over the DFW, and so there's going to be a lot of cars in the ditches. Texans don't know how to drive in this.
Drive safe, please.
Drive safe.
Be safe. Stay home.
Yes. Right.
You have an opportunity.
If you can, stay home.
Right. Stay home. Be safe. Mm-hmm. There's no need for you to go out and put yourself in harm's way.
That's right. That's just good, solid advice, no matter where you live.
Thank you.
Even in the northern climates.
Yes.
Where they know how to, hopefully they know how to drive in this.
There's a little bit of an issue with some driving here in DFW.
Yeah, they don't deal with it, so they don't have to.
What? I can't go 85?
Although I passed up, of course, it was only 3:30 in the morning, but
it wasn't bad this morning.
I passed a guy going, I don't know, 20 on the freeway. Like, okay.
Well, he was coming home.
It hasn't even frozen on the freeway yet. Come on.
That guy was coming home drunk.
Come on. That could be too. I drive better when I'm drunk because I drive slower.
Right.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So, let's see. As far as anything going on, I don't think there is anything going on. Sir, there's nothing going on. Weird. Everything just kind of stopped because of the cold. Well, except for the impeachment trial. Impeachment trial's going on.
Have they run him out of office yet?
Yeah, they have, actually. They have run him out of office. Yeah. Yeah, the American people ran him out of office a month ago.
But that wasn't enough?
Actually, more than a month ago. The election was actually on November 3rd, and he lost. And we knew that, by mid-November. And so on the 20th, he left office, and he hasn't been back since. So I love the fact that they're still trying to get him out when, hey, hello, he's already out. Okay, he's already gone. So ridiculous. And this trial has been so unbelievably ridiculous. I got to show you this video of a hero who passed Mitt Romney in the hallways of the Capitol building.
A hero?
A hero passed Mitt Romney and saved his life. They're crediting this guy, this officer, for saving Mitt Romney's life.
Wow.
Here's what happened on that fateful day. You might want to avert your eyes. It's a very disturbing video. Watch
you wanted
this.
us to see it.
I do want you to
Officer
see it, but
Goodman
here we go.
passes Senator Mitt Romney and directs him to turn around in order to get to safety.
Look at that graphic video. Oh my gosh. Now that was compelling, wasn't it? Is that amazing? That was part of their stupid. That was part of their evidence.
I saw the
yesterday.
headline of how close the mob came to Mitt Romney.
Right.
I didn't watch the video.
Watch it again, because
That's
if you dare, it's pretty graphic. Here we go.
so.
Senator Mitt Romney and directs him to turn around in order to get to safety.
Whew, that was a close one. That was a freaking close one. That's how close Mitt Romney came to death on January 6th. That graphic, extreme violence that scared us all, right? I mean, I'm shaking right now. I don't even know if I can continue with the show. That's how disturbing that video was. That's how graphic that video was. Mitt Romney, look, here it is again. No!
Go the other way.
Go the other way, Mitt. Go, turn around. And he did. And there's nobody in sight.
Nobody there.
There's nobody there. But that's how close he came to death. Mitt Romney escaped by the skin of his teeth. Harrowing.
But nobody was there.
Harrowing.
Nobody was there.
No, that's right. Yeah, nobody was there. But, this is their big thing. To make this sound like the scary insurrection they're claiming it is, and they keep repeating over and over, 5 people died. There were 5 dead. Well, yeah, but, the only person who was actually shot dead was one of the Trump supporters. Okay, it's the mob who was dying, not anybody at the hands of the mob, including, by the way, the police officer who was supposedly killed by the fire extinguisher. That didn't happen.
Yeah.
That didn't happen. He was not killed by blunt force trauma at all. And so they don't even know. They don't know yet what it was. Yeah, they haven't released what it was that killed him. Why?
It feels like, and again, I know that it feels like they haven't released it because it was natural causes.
That's what I think. That's exactly what I think. Or, maybe he was killed by a reaction to something the police released, because I don't know that any of the mob had pepper spray.
They did mention, reaction to pepper spray and some other kind of tear gas or something that they had released.
Yeah.
They did mention that in the story.
That it was possible.
It was possible, yeah.
The only way that this can be what they're trying to make out of it is if it was the mob that was killing other people. If the mob kidnapped and strung up senators and Congress people. The only person who actually was killed was Ashley Abbott, a Trump supporter. Mm-hmm. Everybody else, including the police officer who died of apparently natural causes. Died of some health issue, heart attack or stroke or whatever while they were there. And they were members of the mob, other than, of course, the one police officer who was apparently, again, not killed by the mob.
Right. And the other 2 police officers that they lump in time to time because they were there at the insurgent that committed suicide later.
Right.
So,
which you can't count that. You can't count that. I refuse to count that. I'm sorry. That's not. They did not die at the hands of the mob. Okay? No one did. No one did. And yet, we're going through this farce of a trial. I'm sorry. I can't take it. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. And I don't even believe that even if they'd gotten into close contact with any of the congressional delegation, I don't think this mob would have harmed any of them. They would not have.
Kind of hard pressed to believe that.
I don't believe it. I don't. Had they come in contact with AOC, they would not have killed her. They would not have beaten her.
They would have hollered and
they would have yelled at her. You know, they would have called her names. Probably, they would not have harmed her. I really don't believe that. I don't believe it.
If Mitt Romney had not been turned around and saved,
yeah,
I mean, he would have been treated like he was treated at the airport, right, in Salt Lake City.
They would have yelled at him.
Yes,
which I didn't like either. Because
no, I didn't either. I
don't like it when the left wing idiots do that to.
I know, the man sitting at the airport. Let him sit.
Yeah, leave him alone.
And even if you want to say something and move on. To stand there and holler at the man.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. And then call him a traitor when he gets on the plane.
Stop it.
Just don't need that.
But
right?
My point is that I don't believe that any actual physical harm would have come to him.
No.
I don't believe it.
They would not have killed Mitt Romney had they gotten a hold of him.
I don't believe it. I'm sorry.
So even if the mob was within sight of Mitt Romney in that narrow escape he made, thanks to the police officer who turned him around and said, "No, go this way." Had it not been for that heroic moment,
I mean, to be honest,
I still don't think he would have been killed.
Stop and say turn around. He just ran by.
I know.
Go the other way.
Go the other way. The mob is coming.
But they weren't. Nobody was there.
No, nobody was there. But that's just how close it was. What a close shave for Mitt Romney. Mitt Romney was nearly murdered. Look at this compelling video of this extreme graphic violence.
I mean, maybe
let's see it again. Yeah, let's see the graphic violence one more time.
Actual people coming all the way.
Look all the way down the hallway there.
Okay, here comes the guard.
Yeah,
the guard is
go the other way.
Stop.
And they do, and then it's over.
It looks like there's like one person walking all the way.
I don't think there's anybody from the mob.
It looks like there's one.
From the mob?
I don't know. There's one person walking. If you see,
is there? Okay, let me. Maybe turn around. She's still.
And he's the hero.
And he's a hero.
Yeah, he's
a hero because he said turn around.
Yeah. See, there's one. Yeah, there at the end you can see a body back there.
Turn around. Turn around. Go the other way.
Whew. As I'm running the other way.
That was a close shave. Man, oh, Manischewitz. What a wine. It's so ridiculous. It's asinine. It's asinine. And yet they're acting as if this video is just a conclusive proof of the fact that Trump had these murdering minions all over the Capitol building, and it was he that placed them there.
We watched one video this morning while we were sitting here that had a guy slam his fist into a window twice, and that was proof that they were, I guess, violent.
That they were extreme, and they were violent. Yeah.
I mean,
it looked like it might have been a Capitol police officer or something.
Was just standing there.
He was standing up against these windows, and there was an angry guy in front of him who bashed his fist into the window next to the cop.
The cop didn't even move.
And then he took his left hand and bashed his fist into the other window next to the cop, but didn't touch the cop.
And then it was
over.
And
that was an example of the extreme violence. Really? That's what you've got? We have seen a couple of scenes.
Yes, we have.
Where
it was
people
ugly.
got out of control and hit people over the head with the flagpoles or whatever. And it's despicable.
The whole thing.
It's despicable that happened.
The whole thing.
But to make it out into an insurrection and a deadly mob, it's ridiculous.
When they want to take us down the road of this deadly insurrection and how horrible it was for them, and then we find out that they were in a completely different building far away from the deadly insurrection.
Certainly AOC was.
It takes away from how bad we're supposed to feel.
Right. Yes. I mean, the CNN banner for about, 20 minutes this morning. Damning videos show lawmakers narrowly escape deadly mob. The deadly mob no, you should revisit that headline a bit because it was the mob who was dying there. I mean, that's not a deadly mob. That's a dying mob. All four of the people who were killed or died were in the mob, right? They were the Trump supporters. Ashley Babbitt got shot by a police officer, and the other three had some sort of health issue that killed him.
But it was,
and then the cop who was supposedly bludgeoned with a fire extinguisher, that never happened.
But it was reported that while this was going on, and they don't, it was reported by sources close to the president. Mm-hmm. Those sources said that he was secretly happy. Oh,
so they know his thoughts. Was it Kreskin that reported it? I wonder if Kreskin is the secret source close to the president.
Nobody knows who Kreskin is. Kreskin,
people.
Is he still alive?
Yeah.
Is Kreskin still alive?
Of course, Kreskin's still alive. No. He knows his death date, though. He knows it.
Kreskin is not alive.
I think Kreskin is alive.
Kreskin he is.
See?
80,
told you.
86 years old.
86. Kreskin, still seeing the future.
He is still seeing the future.
Kreskin is a mentalist.
American mentalist.
A mentalist, a psychic, if you will, who he never called himself a psychic, though, because he doesn't believe in that stuff. But he appeared on the Tonight Show all the time. And foretold the future and whatever. So he could tell what you were thinking. And maybe Kreskin was with the president, and that's how we know that he was secretly happy about what was going on at the Capitol building. So for the youngsters in listening,
the amazing
Kreskin, that's who he was. But in this impeachment trial, the big line the Democrats are clinging to from the speech that the president made that day was he told them that we're going to have to fight like hell to win this thing. You literally have to have the IQ of a bathroom bowl brush to believe that he meant for people to go into a physical altercation.
I mean,
with congressmen.
Every one of those congressmen has used phrases similar to that.
Absolutely. And everybody knows it. They know it. We know it. You have to have serious mental deficiency to believe he meant that you need to go down there and drag people out of that building and hurt them.
And they finally admitted, I think yesterday they did admit that they had edited the video the day before.
Had they ever.
But where he said peacefully march down there and show these people.
And took that out?
And they took it out originally, but they admitted that they took it out yesterday, but said he only said it once.
Now, what's the legal limit on saying peaceful?
You have to say it more than once.
Like 30?
More than once.
Is it 40? Is it 50 times?
I'm not sure.
Times did you have to say
I'm not sure.
He did say peacefully march down there. He did say it.
But only once.
But he also said, fight like hell. I mean, people say fight like hell all the time.
All the time.
All the time. Without meaning that you deliver physical abuse to somebody. Right. Come on. Do we really have to pretend this is an actual thing? When we all, including these buffoons putting on this circus right now.
And they are buffoons.
They are buffoons. And it is a circus.
And to be preached at
they know
Eric
it's not an actual thing, too. Yeah. Oh, Eric Swalwell.
To be preached at from this guy.
Who had sex with a Chinese spy.
Who is compromised.
Yeah.
How he still, I mean, I'll give you, he should maybe still hold his office. Maybe.
No, he shouldn't.
But he certainly shouldn't be on any of the boards that he's on, the committees that he's on.
Yeah.
He shouldn't be on any of those.
Yeah, look what happened to Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Yeah.
For tweeting things. This guy had a spy in his midst for a year and a half or 2 years or something.
Actually is doing the deed with a Chinese spy. He's compromised.
Fang Fang.
That's okay.
Yeah. He was doing things with Fang Fang. Yeah. Right? So
Bang, bang.
That's what I was kind of thinking of, and you just went ahead and said it. Okay. All right. I was going to keep that on my inside voice.
It's just words.
Yeah, I know.
Wow, you ate words.
No, I love words. I mean, words are all we have to take your heart away, if I might be so bold.
Thank you.
All right, let me tell you about Built Bar. If you want to eat healthier this year, if you want to eat tastier and healthier, Built Bar is the way to go. Man, these are good. Aren't they amazing?
Yes, they are. They are.
I'm always.
Really
I don't
good.
know why I'm continually surprised. I'm like, that flavor's delicious too.
I know.
Hey, there's another one that's really, really good.
I know. There's several. Let's just pull one out.
I get so hungry, like
This is just the regular peanut butter one.
Yeah.
There's another peanut butter one with another flavor with the peanut butter, and I had the regular peanut butter. I don't know, the other day, and I was like, just like you. This is pretty good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's amazing. They never cease to amaze me. And every bar contains 110 to 160 calories. They all have 16 to 20 grams of protein. I mean, you're going to love these. They are great. And I don't know a single person who've said, yeah, I don't really like them.
Our expectations
Everybody
have
loves
been set. The bar has been so low on these bars.
Yeah, because they usually taste like, I don't know, chalk or somebody's armpit.
I don't recall what an armpit tastes like, but I'll go with it.
It tastes like Jeffy's armpit.
Like, I'll go with it?
Yeah. But you're going to love them. And they have 18 different flavors.
Thank you.
Including some of my favorites. Caramel brownie. I had the raspberry one yesterday. Loved it. Cookies and cream, peanut butter, mint brownie. They're all covered in 100% chocolate. Real chocolate. So don't give up on your resolution to eat better. Built Bar is the answer for you. Go to BuiltBar.com. Use the promo code PAT20 to get 20% off your next order. Use the promo code PAT20 for 20% off at BuiltBar.com.
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.
All right. 888-900-3393. Is today the last day of the trial? I think
the last day.
It's the last
day
for the prosecution.
Right?
Yeah, they're finishing up their powerful case with their graphic, extreme, violent videos.
Correct.
Do you know that some people actually raised their voice?
Wait.
Yeah, when they stormed the Capitol, some of them raised their voices. Mm-hmm.
For more than...
They have proof of it.
I love the one video.
Some of them used naughty words, too. Some of them did.
The one video we watched earlier today that was part of their damning video evidence.
Mm-hmm.
All it was the guy was just moving his phone.
Yeah, that's
the
about
whole
it.
time. He's just moving his
did
phone.
shake a lot,
And
and so
thing,
it looked,
everything was shaking.
it looked like something really bad was going on there.
I was like, okay, what?
Okay, either there's an earthquake happening right now, or somebody's hand is shaking while they're shooting the video.
It's supposed to be damning evidence.
But nobody was really being beaten at the time.
I was
so
just like, stop moving.
I know. All of it's just asinine. It's just ridiculous. I love this. There's a great Babylon Bee story. I love the Babylon Bee. They continually
do a great job.
Come through.
Yes, they do.
It's their story about Super Bowl Sunday was, here's your chance for conservatives to sit down, relax, and be insulted. All around the country, conservatives have invited friends and family over to enjoy food, funny commercials, football, and being insulted by every major corporation in America. I love football, said local Christian conservative Brad Longaberger. But I also love the humbling experience of sitting through hours of sermons from powerful corporations, reminding me how rotten and terrible I am for not supporting progressive causes.
Right.
According to sources, millions of Americans are looking forward to taking a much-needed break from scolding about masks, social justice, immigration, and toxic masculinity to instead be scolded about all of those things while watching a really fun football game. It's a great tradition in our family, said Longaberger. Now, who's playing again? I mean, it's so true. We sit in front of that TV to be entertained, and then they insult us all day long. The lead up to the Super Bowl was all insulting about racial justice and how bad white people are and white privilege and all of this, white supremacy, and just jamming it in our face the whole time. And then you get lectured even in the commercials that they did. So frustrating.
Very frustrating.
Anybody else sick of it? I'm a little sick of it. And
it's very frustrating. And look, that's what we're getting from, I mean, that's why, and this year the NFL obviously was in our face, but we now have the NBA backing off on some of that, right? Mm-hmm. The National Basketball Association is trying to back off.
Their ratings were so low, I think they realized, geez, people really hate this.
They pulled the Black Lives Matter stuff.
Yeah.
Right? On all the courts and everything, they pulled all of that.
Right.
And Cuban was still, trying to appease his players and not play the national anthem.
Yeah. And then the NBA told him to play it.
No, we play it. That's part of our long-standing league policy.
Yeah.
Is it?
Uh-huh.
Is it? And Cuban's defense is just like, just own it. Just own it. He's trying to, walk the line.
Yeah.
No, Mark, no. It's okay. It's okay. We understand that's where you're at, but at least own it. Don't walk the line.
Yeah. Cuban's hard to figure out.
I know. He sure is.
A bizarre guy. I mean, one time you think, oh, okay, maybe he's got some conservative beliefs, and then minutes later he's progressive and stupid again. And
I think that comes with the NBA, I think.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe. And he's trying to please everybody. Yeah. And you can't do that. It's impossible.
That's his world now. Obviously, he makes a lot of money doing a lot of other things, which is where he gets that conservatorship come in.
Yeah,
but that NBA plays such a role, man.
But as the NBA seems to be backing off, the NFL is doubling down. I mean, they had crappy ratings all year long, and this was the worst watched, the worst viewed Super Bowl in decades.
It was, I don't know about that.
Decades.
It was a while, but I mean, they
decades.
I don't believe it was decades. You can say that all you want. I don't believe that's true.
1969. If I'm not mistaken, that qualifies as decades.
It was not decades.
Yes, it is decades.
I'm going to find the story right now.
It's the lowest viewed Super Bowl since 1969.
No, that's not true.
Yes, it is true. Okay. All right. Go ahead. Look it up.
I'm going to.
It's taken you a long time, man. It's not that hard. Worst viewed Super Bowl since 1969. Type that into your search engine.
Story with the numbers right here.
Worst viewed Super Bowl since 1969. Let's look. Look at this. Washington Post.
The least watched NFL championship game since 2007.
Bucks rout of Chiefs earns worst Super Bowl rating since 1969.
I don't care what the headline says. I'm telling you what the actual numbers are.
What year did you say?
2007.
I'm sorry. Is that decades?
No.
Yes.
No, it's not decades.
It's a decade and a half is what it is.
It's not decades.
You are pathetic. Okay,
but their numbers remain flat, pretty much. I mean, that stayed even for the year. The Super Bowl numbers, I mean, their numbers were down all year. So I don't know that they expected to climb those back out.
38.2 household rating. That's really bad for a Super Bowl. Really bad. 38% of American TVs were tuned into the Super Bowl. That's pretty incredible. The game drew 96.4 million viewers, which is, way down. It's usually like 120 million, 125 million.
That was across all platforms, too.
Right. Ooh. I'm telling you, worst since 1969.
That's not true.
Yes, it's true. I'm gonna come over there and kick you in the head. It's going to be an extreme, graphic, violent video. Yeah. I got some tweets here from Pickapool, the snarky jackhole Pokemon. I thought Misty Drizzle was the Big Frog 1099 weather forecaster. Here's our weather girl, Misty Drizzle. That'd be a good name for The sniper BBB tweets, people up north aren't that much better in the snow. We're too dependent on the salt trucks. I think we have, is it 4? We have 4 snowplows, I think.
Bulldoze, yeah, the
in
snowplows.
DFW. And not that many salt trucks.
No,
either.
they had the de-icing trucks on the road. I passed a couple the other day, the brine trucks, and they've set up a lot of the construction now has the the heating coils underneath them, in the highway, so it keeps. I mean, the roads are pretty good. They keep them pretty safe.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. We'll see how many piled up people are gonna. I wonder. That's the commute is going to be a little iffy.
I know.
Caffeinated Texan tweets, I get closer to death than that. The Mitt Romney situation in the hallway at the Capitol building. I get closer to death than that over 100 times daily on my commute to work, by passing within inches of multi-ton fast-moving vehicles.
Boy, that's a fact.
So sick of these idiots. Who votes for these people? Good question. DMXDM, I've seen Mitt use more aggressive measures to get away from constituents on the street. From Panther Blue, Pat, you're in more danger from Jeffy than Romney was from any mob. Very true. Absolute fact. Asking for a friend, is there a Democrat in office that has an IQ higher than a bathroom bowl brush? No.
Boy,
no, there isn't.
It certainly doesn't seem that way, I'll tell you that.
Constitutional Stoner tweets, who among us hasn't had a little fang business?
Think about it.
I love Chinese people too, but come on.
That's great. Business. All right.
Business. Speaking of business.
Yeah.
It was a sad day yesterday.
For business?
For business. Yeah. Well, because we lost somebody who played a big role in my life.
Who?
Larry Flint.
Oh. Really?
Don't start.
He's played a big role.
You're laughing at the death of Larry Flint, 78 years old.
Wow.
Genius.
What did he die from?
Heart failure, they said.
Oh, boy.
But we lost him.
We lost him.
Sad to see Larry go.
He
and I spent a lot of time together over
Did
the
you?
years. Yeah.
Yeah, you.
Well, not necessarily me and Larry, but his
product, his work product. What a surprise that would be, that you spent some time with his work product.
I loved his work product.
I bet you did. All right. 888-900-3393. Also at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. Morgan Wallen, the country star.
That we
talked about last week. He got drunk, having a night out with friends, and when he was going back into his house, he jokingly or, in a friendly way, yes, called one of his friends, white friends, the N-word. Okay, somebody happened to be taping it and turned it over to TMZ.
Would it have been worse, just to pause for a moment, would it have been worse had it been a black friend? Would he still be alive?
Yeah, maybe not.
If it were a black friend.
Yeah, if it were a black friend, that'd be really
I don't know.
I mean, it's bad enough that it was a white guy.
Yeah, no kidding.
Well, anyway, he was obviously canceled by Cumulus Radio, iHeartRadio, Spotify.
All dropped him. It was amazing.
Everybody dropped his music.
And even his contract, right? His music company.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, his music company suspended his contract. I don't know how you can even do that. So he says he's gained an understanding of the hate his words carry.
Oh, no.
This guy keeps trying to apologize. Look, dude, they don't care.
Morgan,
they don't care about your apology. They're not interested in repentance at all.
Nope.
There are no second chances for people.
It's never enough, and they don't care.
Nope. If you're on the right, no apology, no amount of apologizing will ever appease them.
Nope. Because one way and he's tried to apologize for it, so he knew it was wrong. Mm-hmm. And the other way is, and he hasn't
even apologized for it. Right. So he says he understands the hate his words carry. And he's been sober ever since. He's a changed man now. And yes, he posted another lengthy apology yesterday, saying he's taken the last week to gather his thoughts and get an education. Wallen revealed he's met with leaders of several black groups and listened to personal accounts from members that shook him to his core and made him realize the true meaning of the N-word. So
Okay.
are they going to petition Cumulus and iHeartRadio now to put his music back on the radio?
Hey, now it's time to hear from N-word Morgan. I mean, that's what's going to happen if he comes back. It's never going to be enough. Just like we said, it's never enough. And the only way out of this, really, and people just don't seem to realize it, is to double down and say, and you could say, look, I was just joking with my friend. I'm not sorry I was joking with my friend.
Yeah, you could go the route, I'm sorry somebody was offended by this.
I'm sorry.
You're not sorry for doing it. You're sorry
that
that they were offended by it.
And then just double down with it. Because the actual, I've met with people and shook me to the core.
Doesn't matter.
It sounds hollow to me anyway.
Yeah, they don't care.
And they don't care. They just don't care. It doesn't matter. They don't even want you working at the subway in whatever Arkansas City I mentioned last time.
No, they don't.
They just don't.
They'll track you down there and get you fired from that job as well. So Wallen says the video was shot on hour 72 of a 72-hour bender, which he's not proud of, and he's been sober in the 9 days since. He addressed his supporters, too, saying while he's appreciated them standing up for him, he accepts the backlash and penalties he's received. Wow. Huh. All right. Well, good for you. He was recorded, of course, by a neighbor of his. He said the timeline for his return to music is unclear, but promises to be a better person moving forward. He ends the video with a Bible verse that says, when I was a child, I spoke like a child, thought like a child, and reasoned like a child. When I became a man, I gave up childish ways. And they don't care. They still don't care.
Don't care.
They do not care.
It's never enough. Never.
It will be interesting. Never. Will any of these radio groups put him back on?
I mean, they should.
They should. Yeah, they should. But is the NAACP going to come out and say, because that's probably who he met with, one of the groups he met with, are they ever going to come out and say, yeah, you know what, Morgan's a good guy. We worked it out with him.
We had a nice talk with him. We
believe
he understands the air of his
ways. He's sincere. So go ahead and play his music again.
Yeah, we don't want him to suffer any more than he's already suffered. Mm-hmm. He's very repentant, and we appreciate that from Morgan.
Yeah.
Is that press release going to happen?
No. I don't think it will.
I'd be very, very surprised.
And it would be a nice, pleasant surprise.
Yes, it would.
Oh, you mean somebody got a second chance? Huh. How about that? Redemption. Forgiveness. Right. Forgiveness.
I'm sure we're going to give redemption to Bruce Springsteen for his DWI. Sure, we care about that.
Uh-huh. Yeah, when did this... Okay, he was arrested on November 14th, so that just came out after the Super Bowl commercial showing him
driving around
in a Jeep. Looking for the middle. Looking for the middle of America.
Looking for the middle of that bottle.
So we could all come together in the middle. Well, Jeep just dropped the commercial because...
Oh!
Yeah. Because of his DUI.
That's incredible that they kept it quiet that long.
Sure is. He was cited for a DUI, reckless driving, and consuming alcohol in a closed area.
Oh, he was in a state park or something in New Jersey. Shut up. I can't believe. Honestly, I can't believe they did this to Bruce Springsteen.
I'm glad.
Well, I'm sure people like you are.
Mm-hmm.
You haters.
I'm glad.
You haters. But, I mean, really, it either means that the cop knew who he was and said, I don't care. Mm-hmm. You're going down.
Mm-hmm.
Or the cop or he'd been stopped there multiple times, and it was finally like, dude, enough.
Yeah.
Now, he claimed, right, his report was, I'm not a drunk. He's not, or his spokesperson or friend said, he's not a drunk. This was just a rare occurrence, and he's repentant and apologizes.
And he's on the left, so they'll accept that completely. Oh, come on. He deserves a second chance.
Yeah.
Let's give him another chance.
Okay.
Put the Jeep commercial back on.
He's the boss.
Come on. We love him. He's been a good citizen. He's fought against the evil Donald Trump.
And
the whole time.
I'm sure he donated his time to the Jeep commercial, so there's no worry about him having to repay the money they paid him for.
Right. No, yeah, it's going to be a different deal with Bruce Springsteen.
Right.
Have you heard about anybody canceling his music? Nope. I mean, when you're driving drunk, you're taking other people's lives in your hands.
Yeah.
And you don't care, right? You take the chance anyway. And
well,
so which
better.
Is worse?
We found out earlier in the broadcast
you drive better when
because
you drive slower. Yeah. So which is worse? Using the N-word privately among your friends or driving drunk? I guess we'll soon see, won't we?
Oh, yes, we will.
We'll soon see.
Yes, we will. And as it stands right now, calling your friend the N-word is the worst.
You're right. Absolutely. Because I haven't heard of any cancel Bruce Springsteen talk.
No, the boss?
No.
No way.
What is he the boss of, by the way? I've always wondered.
The boss. I thought he was the boss of Jersey, but apparently not.
Nope, I guess not. All right. Need to have a conversation about pain. If you have been in pain for a long time and you just can't seem to get any relief, and your pain is brought on by inflammation, then I might have the solution you need. It certainly was for me. It's Omega XL. It's backed by 35 years of clinical research. It attacks the inflammation that causes your pain, and essentially it has an off switch. It turns off the inflammation, and then your pain goes away. Maybe you've tried the pain relievers, the topical rubs. Those just mask the problem. For me, they didn't even do that. I mean, I put topical rub on my elbow, and so it just smelled like Bengay after that. It's nasty, and it does nothing for you. Now, Omega XL neutralizes the inflammation that causes painful, stiff joints and muscles. So let's get you started. When you buy one bottle of Omega XL, you'll get a second bottle thrown in for free. Visit OmegaXL.com/Pat, OmegaXL.com/Pat. When you buy one, you'll get one free. Or you can call 800-844-4888.
You're listening to Pat Gray Unleashed.
Yes, I am. Here's some surprising news. San Francisco is dealing with a huge crime surge, and their new district attorney decided to take a little bit different approach, than incarcerating people or punishing them. What they're trying is restorative justice.
That's good.
Yeah, isn't that nice? They're going to handle things in a different way.
And by a different way.
Yeah, they're going to ask people nicely to stop committing crime, and they'll respond to that really well. I think it's going to work. Burglaries, well, maybe not. Burglaries rose 50% in 2020.
That obviously was before they started asking people nicely not to do it.
Arson and motor vehicle theft also saw significant rises. Shootings are up 32%. Okay. On New Year's Eve, 2 women were killed after being struck by a stolen car. Driven by Tony McAllister. He had been released. This is the restorative justice. He had been released from state prison on parole in April, yet, despite being arrested again for car thefts in November and December.
Well, how's he supposed to get around?
Thank you. That's what restorative justice is all about. You take that into consideration. This is really going to inconvenience Tony a lot if we take away his driver's license.
I'm sorry that we have to put a cringe on your traveling style, but you can't steal cars.
So he was not charged with any new crimes by the social justice-oriented district attorney. Then, 2 elderly men were killed in broad daylight, one in an attempted home robbery and another in just a random assault. The killings have once again inflamed concerns over the fitness of the attorney general, and people are a little bit pissed off. McAllister was released on parole around the same time that the district attorney, Bowden, was talking about how the city was releasing inmates from city jails in response to the coronavirus pandemic. Bowden had promised before his election not to prosecute quality of life crimes like urination in public
Right.
and blocking sidewalks.
Yeah, that's to deal with the homeless issue, right?
Right.
And that's the same city that has taken over hotels for the homeless to live in since this pandemic has started. And it's cost the city millions of dollars. And the hotels are really concerned because the hotels are ruined. They've been being destroyed by these people. It's funny how the people would destroy something that isn't theirs. They have no vested interest in any of it, so it doesn't matter.
So they did a survey of crime victims and asked them what they thought of criminal justice reforms, and the answers.
Oh boy. Good?
No.
Oh.
No. So like embattled Governor Gavin Newsom, this district attorney, Bowden, is now facing a recall effort.
Wow.
It's not clear if the fledgling effort will be as successful as the one against Newsom, but people are pretty fed up with it.
That's interesting because San Francisco, I mean, they're pretty liberal.
Yes.
Just off the top of my head, I'm guessing San Francisco is pretty liberal.
However, people want to feel safe. You know, they want to believe that when they walk outside, they're not going to get attacked by some
But that's the
douchebag.
same people that are okay with these district attorneys all over the country saying they're not going to prosecute people that steal something under $500 or under $1,000. So
that happened right here in Dallas.
Yeah, Dallas County. You know what? If you steal diapers,
it's under 800.
and a
I
TV,
think
those are living. We can't. Just
Yeah, we're going to prosecute you for that. Just go ahead and help yourself to it.
Get out of here. Get out of here.
Come on, man. Whatever.
So that's just an extent. Asking them nicely not to rob things. That's just an extension of that.
Yeah, it is. What a world. What a world. 888-900-3393.
Ask me nicely. Okay.
Okay, I'll stop.
Okay.
Got some tweets here. Pirate propaganda peddler tweets. So people are actually opting out of turning on programming that does nothing but berate them for 5 hours? I'm honestly surprised. Because seemingly people are just willing to take anything and everything from the left. Yeah, it does seem like that sometimes.
Yes, it does.
From Darren Fansler. But if Morgan Wallen, would have been black, it would have been okay that he said what he said. Well, yes, of course.
Duh.
Yeah. Lori F&D, Parlor Act, tweets, I'm impressed with Wallen for no other reason than he was still able to speak English after a 72-hour bender. Jeremiah was a bullfrog. Tweets, think Jeep canceled the ad because of the DUI, or did they realize 50% of the country hated that commercial? This was an easy out. And to our democracy for which it stands. Restorative Justice. Sounds like the name of a TV show on HGTV, hosted by Judge Judy. All right. Yesterday, we mentioned the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame nominees are out. Very briefly, I think toward the end of the show. And first-time nominee, Mary J. Blige.
Fantastic.
Might be going into the hall. Kate Bush. She was nominated back in 2018, so this is her second. Devo. That kills me. That just really kills me.
Devo's great.
Name a Devo song other than Whip It.
It's a Beautiful World.
Liar. You just made up a name.
The beautiful world we live in.
Okay.
A sweet romantic place. Love it.
All right. Okay. Foo Fighters. First-time nominee. I think they just became eligible either last year or this. Something like that. The Go-Go's. I've completely forgotten about the Go-Go's. Iron Maiden. That we found out yesterday. They've sold 100 million albums worldwide.
Monsters.
100 million.
I mean, there's a band that, I mean, you weren't listening to Iron Maiden on Q105. I mean, they did tours, and they were the metal band that everybody listened to without radio, man.
Yeah. Nobody played them. Nobody plays Iron Maiden on the radio. Not even album-oriented stations. Jay-Z. There needs to be a rap Hall of Fame, right? Can we just all agree on that? There should be a rap or R&B Hall of Fame because Jay-Z is not a rock and roll
I
artist.
think there is, isn't there?
Shaka Khan.
Love Chaka Khan.
This is her third nomination. Carole King, previously nominated in 1989 and not since until this year. That's interesting. Okay, so Shaka Khan, Carole King, Fela Kuti, some guy who does African music sounds or something.
Been dead a long time.
Yes, he died in the 90s, right?
Yeah.
Then you got your LL Cool J, the New York Dolls, Rage Against the Machine, Todd Rundgren, Tina Turner, and Dionne Warwick.
Love
Now,
Dionne Warwick.
tell you something. When you think rock, there is no doubt in my mind that Dionne Warwick is probably the first artist that springs to mind. Am I right? Am I right?
Yes, you're right.
Absolutely.
You're right.
I mean, with rock hits like the hard driving Say a Little Prayer. I mean, when you need rock, the Big Frog 1099 is there. Featuring Dionne Warwick's Power Hour. Every weeknight from 7 to midnight. Then we get the let out as Dr. Deathmaker plays deep Led Zeppelin album cuts from midnight to 6. Put the kids to bed early because it's a Mary J. Blige Dionne Warwick weekend. All weekend long.
Is there a way to go deep cut to Dionne Warwick?
Yes.
Okay.
On the Power Hour, they do go deep cuts into Dionne Warwick. You know, the more obscure experimental stuff that she did back in the late 60s, which was, I think, acid induced.
When she covered this.
I think it was LSD induced, actually. She did a lot of acid. And
that's what she was doing, some cover songs and everything.
Yeah.
Not just originals.
Right. Yeah. There was one time where she just played the bongos for 18 minutes. And then the song just ends.
That definitely had to be LSD induced.
Yeah, she was a groundbreaker, Dionne Warwick. And then, of course, Say a Little Prayer for You. She had to do a few commercial things, you know.
I mean,
I said she sold out, frankly, but other people did.
I thought she was okay with this one, but then she definitely sold out when she continued to ask me a question.
She continued to ask you a question?
If I knew a way to a certain city.
Oh, doing it. San Jose, was it perhaps?
Yeah, there was.
Something in the Bay Area, anyway. And again, so I don't know, how many nominees is that? 15, 18, whatever it is. 18!
Well, it's not enough.
It's no foreigner. Enough. There's, once again, no foreigner among them.
Well, when you got Carole King, you just can't make room for foreigner.
Yeah, that's true. It is. And Fela Kuti.
Yes.
Because we've been clamoring for the Fela Kuti nomination for how long? How long's it been? I think I first started talking about it in the late 30s.
What did they call? He's an African musician.
Yeah,
or
Afrocentric, or I don't know. I don't know what it was, but it's not rock and roll. I do know that. And there he is. There's Fela right there. And
there you go.
As if you had to be reminded what he looks like. Everybody knows, of course. Being the king of Africana music or whatever he sang. We all know him well and love him and have all of his works. 888-900-3393. Also at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. By the way, they're saying talk radio is in trouble now. Did you read that article?
I did.
Yeah.
I did.
It's ailing. And so they say is Rush Limbaugh. The format's crisis comes as its biggest star is battling to stay on the air. Indeed, he is battling for his life. Limbaugh, 70, who's been frank about his struggle with what he said last year is advanced lung cancer. He said, I wasn't expected to make it to October and then to November and then to December, he said on the air just before Christmas. And yet, here I am. I didn't hear him say that. Did you hear him say that? I didn't realize he wasn't expected to make it to October.
Yeah, he talked about
I didn't know that. Wow. Anyway, they continue. Limbaugh's uncertain future confronts the talk radio business and conservatism generally with the prospect of losing its most galvanizing figure. Since leaping from a local station in Sacramento to nationally syndicated stardom in 1988, Limbaugh has been the bullhorn behind every important conservative initiative. That's pretty true.
I mean, it's going to be a sad
Pretty true.
That's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, really. But this description is what drives me out of my mind. From his earliest days on the air, Limbaugh trafficked in conspiracy theories, divisiveness, even viciousness. Feminazis was one of his infamous coinages. Jeez. Is that ridiculous? Rush Limbaugh has never trafficked in conspiracy theories. Name one. Name a conspiracy theory that he trafficked in. I don't think the person who wrote this article has ever even listened to a show.
Probably not.
That's amazing.
Probably not listened to hardly any of them that's mentioned in here.
Yeah, probably not. He did say this, though. I remember it quite well. Early in the coronavirus pandemic, Limbaugh told listeners that the virus was no worse than the common cold and that the news media had weaponized the crisis to hurt Trump. Well, everybody thought it was no worse than the common cold at first, including Dr. Fauci,
Right.
who didn't use those exact words, but he said it was nothing for Americans to worry about. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, do you remember?
Yeah.
Need we remind you?
What is that, 11 months ago?
Yeah, yes.
12
We don't
months
have
ago?
to worry about this one, right?
Well, obviously you need to take it seriously and do the kinds of things that the CDC and the Department of Homeland Security are doing.
Mm-hmm.
But this is not a major threat for the people in the United States.
threat.
And this is not something that the citizens of the United States right now should be worried about.
That's interesting. And then on February 29th last year.
No, right now, at this moment, there is no need to change anything
February
that you're
29th.
doing on a day-by-day basis.
Wow. Okay.
There you go.
There you go. But, the only people that they quote are people like Rush and Donald Trump. And when it was the experts telling us the very same thing back in the beginning. It's pathetic. And it's frustrating. Frustrating.
Very, very frustrating.
Frustrating day of stories so far today.
It makes you feel like that. It makes you feel that they don't like talk radio.
It does. What a limb you just crawled out on there, Jeffy.
I know.
Wow.
I know. Well,
that's impressive.
That's what I'm here for. And but having been said, I mean, I want them to just kind of forget about talk radio.
Yes, so do I. Because
them.
When they turn their attention to it, they're going to be turning their attention toward shutting us down.
I know.
And just eliminating talk radio.
Well,
they're going to try hard to do that.
Eliminating the lies that get spewed out of this broadcast.
Well, they have to protect the American people from us. They really do, right? I mean, they have to protect them from us. Because
we might tweet something bad.
You might.
You might put something on Instagram that's horrific.
You might repeat a lie like climate change has been happening through the entire history of this planet. You might say something like that, and we can't have that.
You bastard. You might actually call a woman a woman.
Right.
You might do that.
And say that only a woman can have a period.
Oh, my gosh.
Wow. Wouldn't that be?
No.
Yeah. So there are scary things that people can say, in talk radio, and others have to be protected.
You might think that people that are pregnant and lactating are just women.
No, really? Who would say such a thing?
I don't know who. But I just see where the National Institute of Health is making sure that we say people when we talk about the inclusion of pregnant and lactating people.
Right, thank you. Thank you for that.
People.
People. People who need people and people who lactate are some of the luckiest people. And they could be any people. They could be men. They could be women.
Doesn't matter.
But I do know that they're the luckiest people in the world. I do know that.
See, those are the kind of lies that get spewed.
Yes, and you can't have it.
No, people. No, people is right. Just not women.
Speaking of the climate change situation, there's another article that I'm looking frantically for right now. Maybe we'll have to do it after the break because they have just done it's in one of the science journals too, that we went through a period of global warming almost exactly like this 11,000 years ago.
Yeah, I did.
You did see that?
See that? Yes.
11,000 years ago. I'm trying to think. How many coal-fired power plants were there? How many SUVs were driving around the Earth?
You can't count them.
You can't count them. You seriously
can't
even count them. All right, we'll find that story and share it with you coming up here in a minute. First, if you're trying to sell your home, you know what a challenge that is. That's why you need a real estate agent who's going to come in and take charge of the situation and give you really good advice. Yeah, should you paint your house? Do you need to replace stairs in the backyard? Do you need to replace the countertops? Not only can they advise you as to whether or not you're going to get your money out of doing all of those things, but they can point you in the right direction of maybe who can help you with that, who can actually do the work. Roof repairs, whatever. Real estate agents I trust. It's Glenn's company. And when you have the kind of agents who work with us, working for you, you can rest assured that you're going to be in the hands of a capable team of people. Same goes for when you're buying a home. When you choose your agent through Real Estate Agents I Trust, you've just partnered yourself to a competitive winning machine. A team of people who are going to see you through the entire process. Real Estate Agents I Trust. The name says it all. Go to realestateagentsitrust.com. Some tweets. This from Newton's Flaw. One word to describe the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Xenophobic, because they hate foreigners. Foreigner. Huh? Because they hate foreigner.
Thank you.
There we go. Nita, the hippie patriot. Oh, geez, did I just hear Jeffy singing a Devo song? His talents never cease to amaze.
Thank you.
And Trisha Sanders, best concert ever. When Dionne Warwick opened up for Iron Maiden. Dude, it was lit. I'll bet. Man, just the sheer energy of that had to be off the chain. Dude. I'll bet Dionne Warwick blew Iron Maiden off the stage, though. That would be my guess.
You know. When you get done after Dionne Warwick, you're just so...
You're spent.
Exhausted.
You're spent.
Exhausted. And then Iron Maiden comes out and you're like, oh.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't have the energy anymore.
Stop.
Dionne she killed it. She crushed it. All right. I found the global warming, climate change story, and it's from Science News. It is from, Science Daily, which is your source, of course, for the latest research news. Science Daily. We're following the science here. This is great. Really pretty amazing what they're saying. And that is that the current pace we're on as far as glacial melting and all of that is the same as it was 11,000 years ago. Imagine an ice chunk, they say, the size of Hawaii, disappearing almost simultaneously from an ice sheet. That's what happened in the Storfjorden Trough in the Storfjorden.
How many times we talk about this?
The Storfjorden.
Yeah.
I don't know how many times. I can't count them.
I know.
But that happened 11,000 years ago. 6,200 square miles of ice disappeared in the blink of an eye from an ice sheet in the Storfjorden Trough offshore of Svalbard. A new study that's in the Arctic.
So in the blink of an eye,
in the blink of an eye,
time is that 20? Is that 50, 100 years? What?
No, it's like a second and a half.
Oh,
yeah. This dramatic break was preceded by quite a rapid melt of 2.5 kilometers of ice a year. Is that a lot? I don't know, because it's kilometers. It could be an inch. It could be 7 million miles. I don't know.
So
I don't know. But this parallels the current melt rates in Antarctica and Greenland and worries the scientists behind the study. They say our measurements of the ice retreat in Stjornfjorden Trough show that the prevailing conditions to the Great Break-Off match what we see in Antarctica and Greenland today. It's uncanny. There are new studies published almost weekly that show that the retreat of the current ice sheets is 2 to 4 kilometers a year and that it's speeding up. The last deglaciation, 20,000 to 10,000 years ago, was a period of coexisting global warming and rapidly shrinking ice sheets. The speed of the ice retreat relative to climate change is kind of difficult because it would melt and then it would sometimes refreeze. Kind of like, I don't know what we're going through right now in Dallas-Fort Worth.
It
melts and then it
would
refreezes when it gets colder again. Weird. So they said, we studied the ice sheet development from 20 to 10,000 years ago using marine sediment cores. Blah, blah, blah. The biochemistry and the forma, blah, blah. Anyway, it is almost exactly the same speed of melting as we see right now, 11,000 years ago. So what caused it? What we know always causes it, the cyclical changes
SUVs.
in this planet's climate.
SUVs.
Not SUVs. No, they were scarce back then. They were scarce. Apparently people couldn't afford them. You know, there were plenty of them at the dealership, but buying one with like your fish that you just caught in the fjord was difficult.
So you couldn't get one.
No,
They weren't on the roads.
No,
In fact, some people would say there probably weren't any roads.
Some people would say that. Yeah, the stupid people would say that. It's crazy. How many times have we said this kind of stuff? It goes in cycles. Okay, there's been, and they know this. There have been ice ages, and then the ice melted, and then there was another ice age later, and then that melted, and then you know what happened after that? Another ice age.
I was just going to say that,
and then another melting. And they always say, well, it's the speed at which it's happening now. And then they find out it's the same speed as 11,000 years ago.
According to Farfy Barker. Whatever the
fjord is.
The fjord.
Mm-hmm.
It actually did happen before, just like it's happening now.
Yes.
So.
Right. Last paragraph in the story. The final retreat of the Stjornfjorden Trough ice sheet happened as rapidly in the outer parts of it as it did further up the trough. This means that as soon as warmer oceanic weather or oceanic water got access to the ice sheet, it surged pretty rapidly inward from the edge of the ice shelf to the interior of the ice sheet itself. We see this same thing happening in Antarctica today. Yes! Because it's a natural process that we've got nothing to do with.
This is from some fake news site called what?
Science Daily.
Huh.
Yeah. I mean, being a voracious reader of Science Daily. Science Daily is like, that's where you go for all science fact.
And you got to do it daily, otherwise you get backed up. And
right.
It's just, you never.
Then you got to catch up, and there's no catching up with Science Daily. They're just too prolific.
Because amazingly, when you get behind in science, then things change again. And you just
Isn't that
don't
amazing?
know where you're at.
It is kind of amazing
that's
that way.
kind of what happens in science.
Right.
You know, things that we know for sure. The exact thing.
Yeah, and here's the interesting thing. There is no consensus in science. There is no, well, the science is settled. No, the science is never settled. We're always discovering new things.
Always.
That's why you don't just say, okay, Einstein's theory of relativity. It's done. It's settled science. Move on. Well, no, they're always looking into that.
Always.
That's always being tweaked and changed and rearranged and looked into and experimented with. But not climate change. No. That science is settled. Don't even ask about it. 888-900-3393. Also at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. More Pat Gray Unleashed coming up. The rock stylings of Dionne Warwick right here. Jamming on that guitar. Shredding. Listen to her go. It's incredible. Incredible.
Do you know the way to San Jose?
More Dionne. Rockin' the Bay with Dionne Warwick.
The way to San Jose.
Yeah, she rocks, man.
I know.
She rocks.
I know. When you joked around about seeing her open for Iron Maiden.
Right. But no, she blew him off the stage.
Yes.
She blew him off the stage.
I remember going to a concert once where AC/DC opened for ZZ Top.
Yeah.
And, I mean, ZZ Top came out and...
Killed.
The audience was dead. The audience was like, oh. There was just, after AC/DC, you're just spent. Right? An hour and 15, an hour and 20 of AC/DC, and it's like...
AC/DC was the opening act?
Yeah.
For ZZ Top?
Yeah.
Oh.
And it was just like, they got done, and it was like, go ahead, you guys play now.
That must have been, when was that?
Wow, my grandfather took me to
I was
that
going to
show.
say, you're way too young to be going to a show like that back in the day.
Did I say I went to it? I just saw footage of it.
Yeah, you kind of screwed up there a little bit. Huh.
Couldn't have been in anything like the Toledo Speedway Jam or anything like that.
No, I'm sure not.
No.
Not that you would know.
No.
888-933-93. This story is unconscionable. You know who Gina Carano is?
Oh, my gosh.
The actress in The Mandalorian?
Yes.
She's like his helper sometimes or
and
whatever.
by unconscionable, you mean the things that she has repeated
right.
and said on her social media
on
accounts.
Twitter. Yeah,
and Instagram.
Fortunately, she was fired. So we're protected now from her nonsense. A little bit. Yeah.
A little bit. The
thing.
cancellation of her Instagram and Twitter account will be coming soon.
So they even had a spinoff lined up for her. That's how much they liked her, and her character was popular. And so they were going to do a whole show based on her.
Fans love her.
But of course they can't. They can't abide the thing. You know what she did?
No, yes, I do know.
She mocked mask wearing. And get this, she questioned election results.
Oh, my gosh.
How dare you? What do you think, you're an American or something? And you can freely ask about things? No, Missy. You are not in America. Let me read what she wrote about now prepare yourself, because it's despicable. It'll make you sick to your stomach. She said, we need to clean up the election process so we're not left feeling the way we do today. Put laws in place that protect us against voter fraud. Investigate every state. Film the counting. Flush out the fake votes. Require ID. Make voter fraud end in 2020. Fix the system. The end.
Oh, man.
Yeah, right?
Oh,
I
man.
couldn't have gone any further anyway because I was that sickened by what she had to say. How dare you? How dare you say that? Then she mocked mask wearing. Yeah. And I think she said something about trans people. Do you have that tweet?
I'll find it, but I just found another
Man.
one. I just found another one that's even more horrific than that.
Oh, no. I don't know if I can handle it. Be gentle with it.
Now, this is scrubbed now. It's been deleted and gone
thank
now
goodness.
on her Instagram. But
thank heaven.
There was one quote that expecting everyone you encounter to agree with every belief or view you hold is effing wild.
It's not funny because this cost her livelihood. And who do you think is going to hire her after this? Well, you can't because you're hiring that hateful actress.
Yeah. Now I'll get if you want to get to the transphobic comment.
Gosh.
All right, fine. This is on her Twitter.
Where she shows the hate.
This is not Instagram. This is on Twitter, and this was in her bio.
Oh, boy.
On Twitter.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
She used preferred pronouns in her bio as beep, bop, boop.
How dare you?
I mean, abhorrent does not go far enough.
No, it doesn't.
It doesn't go far enough. She was making...
It's akin to genocide, is what she did. It's akin to genocide.
It is. I mean, there were one time where she shared a TikTok post. Okay, so this isn't even her post. She just shared it. All right.
Okay.
And it reads, Jews were beaten in the streets, not by Nazi soldiers, but by their neighbors, even by children. Because history is edited, most people today don't realize that to get to the point where Nazi soldiers could easily round up thousands of Jews, the government first made their own neighbors hate them simply for being Jews. How is that any different from hating someone for their political views?
How dare you?
Yeah, I mean, people questioned her as a Jewish person, this is vile and unnecessary. What? What are you talking about?
So you just can't speak your mind if you're on the right. If you have any belief that's not...
You have to be on the right. You're just questioning.
Yeah, I know. But those would be... The only people that would question things like that are people on the right. And there's no way you should be fired for that.
Oh, my gosh.
There has to be protection for conservatives now. There has to be. We got to be protected just like other special interest groups are protected. Otherwise, we're just going to be canceled out of this whole society. You're not going to be able to make a living. You're not going to be able to go shopping. You're not going to be able to express your opinion in any format, anywhere.
Yeah, they don't want you to. That's for sure.
No, because they're so insecure in their beliefs and they're so illogical. They know they can't be challenged. If they're challenged, they lose. Wow. So Lucasfilm fired her, and there's no plans for her to be in anything Lucasfilm in the future.
Yeah, no, they said in their press release that it's over.
Gosh, that's unbelievable.
It's over. They said she is not currently employed by Lucasfilm, and there are no plans for her to be in the future.
Jeez.
Okay. I don't want to read what she's
right. Yeah, you don't. Please don't repeat
again.
It. Please don't repeat it.
But I mean, I think we can all agree that beep, bop, boop.
Yeah, it's just unacceptable
as her pronoun.
I'm sorry.
No.
I just threw up a little bit in my throat just hearing you say it.
I mean, it's ridiculous.
Point of personal privilege.
Yeah, go ahead.
Mm-hmm. Please do not use gendered language to address everyone.
Okay. All right. Let's move on with our pronouns.
I mean, and look, she is. I hope
she's joking around.
Please, Gina, please,
unreal.
Do not apologize.
Oh, she will.
Do not apologize.
She'll have to, right?
But I mean, it's worth too much. They were having a separate show lined up for her.
Yeah, they had a whole spinoff devoted to her character. I mean, it's amazing. I'll bet we don't see her in anything again. She won't be hired for anything.
I mean, the
not
only
in Hollywood.
left is what, maybe announcing the MMA where she came from. Maybe?
Is that what she was doing?
Yeah,
announcing MMA.
But no, she was in
the MMA.
Yeah, I don't know if she's. I don't want to say that she's getting a little aged for the MMA, but it's possible. Mm-hmm. She would probably kick my ass if she was sitting right
probably?
here. So.
Come on now. You could absolutely do that.
That's true.
Yeah, very. Yeah. All right. Let me tell you about Patriot Mobile. Got some great news to share about Patriot Mobile. They've expanded their coverage dramatically, so it makes it a lot easier for even more Americans to dump the big-name carriers who charge way too much and then donate money to leftists after you do pay them all that money. That's why we're proud to partner with Patriot Mobile. They never sent a penny to the left. They will never try to silence you. And they're America's only Christian conservative wireless provider. Plus, you can switch with confidence because they use the same cell towers as the larger providers. They just charge a lot less to do it. And they make switching easy. So you can keep your phone number or you can get a new phone number. You can bring your own phone to the arrangement, buy a new one, whatever you want. Build your own bundle with multi-line discounts, and you can save even more. Just go to patriotmobile.com/Pat. patriotmobile.com/Pat, or call their U.S.-based customer service team, 972-PATRIOT. 972-PATRIOT. And this month, get free Premier activation, where they set up the phone for you, and you'll get a special gift thrown in as well when you use the offer code PAT. patriotmobile.com/Pat.
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.
Welcome back to Pat Unleashed. As the announcer said, we didn't get an opportunity to congratulate Quaker Oats, the division of PepsiCo, that unveiled the new name for Aunt Jemima syrup.
Oh my gosh.
Pancake mix.
Did you just dead name a pancake company? Oh. Don't you be dead naming our pancakes.
I'm so sorry. Oh, wait, I just apologized. No, I don't. I shouldn't.
Wow. So they did come up with a new name, though, right?
They did come up with a new name, and it rolls right off the tongue.
What is their live naming now?
Pearl Milling Company. Rolls right off the tongue.
Doesn't it, though? That's so much less offensive than Aunt Jemima, isn't it?
I mean, whatever. They could name their product
Pearl Milling Company.
It's it has to do with their historical roots.
Mm-hmm.
It's a small Missouri mill that in 1889 produced the self-rising pancake mix, later known as, and I'm going to use the dead name
again. You're going
to
dead name again. All right.
Aunt Jemima.
Oh, my. Wow.
Now, it looks just like they're using the same packaging.
Yeah.
And, they can call their product whatever they want. I don't care. Obviously, but proof positive that it's never enough. I mean, they just take a hit from people. Oh, it sounds like a gravel mining company. And, they just been taking a hit. Like, it sounds like a generic house brand. I'm not going to get that. Well, you're the ones that were complaining.
Mm-hmm.
You're the ones that made them change Aunt Jemima and get rid of, that horrific person on the package that no one really cared about. That was Aunt Jemima. She was the face of the product.
Yep.
I mean, anyway, congratulations to Quaker Oats for getting that out. We should be seeing that out on the shelves by June.
Oh, okay. We still have to put up with their...
I don't know. I don't know if they've pulled...
racist syrup until June. Oh, wow. I don't know if I can. I don't know if I can abide it.
I mean, I know that I saw some log cabin syrup come into my home.
You did?
This week.
Right.
And I was a little pissed. Log cabin. I mean, that's got to be some kind of racist thing.
I'm sure it is. Yeah.
Gotta be. Gotta be.
I'm sure it is. They'll find something wrong with it. If there's a conservative at the top of the company, they will find something wrong with it. Absolutely, without question. 888-900-3393. All right. Speaking of stupidity, now the CDC and Warner Brothers are promoting their Mask Up campaign by getting together with a bunch of their characters: Harry Potter, the Joker, Wonder Woman, just a bunch of them, and I guess they're all putting masks on. Here's this campaign that is so. Well, it's going to save us. It's going to save us. So wonderful. Let's get back to... Is there no audio on this?
Okay.
Let's get back to doing our favorite things. Whatever that might be.
Oh, all these characters are...
masked.
Masked.
Got to be kidding me. Slow the... even the Joker has a mask on. Isn't that great? Yeah, that's great. Okay. Wonder Woman with a mask. Mask up, America.
That felt pretty great.
Well, the CDC just changed their recommendation for masking and to make it double mask now, effective yesterday. So they want everyone to.
Were the superheroes, were they double masked?
No, they were
not. I don't
not.
think so.
No,
I think there was a
not.
lot of single masking going on there.
No, they were not. Why do the superheroes? The superheroes.
Why do they want us
to
dead?
die.
Yeah, they want us dead. Let's see that again. Let's see if any of them are double masked.
I don't think they are.
Oh, it's on. Release the meteor.
Nope.
No. None of them double masked.
Oh, boy.
Hopefully they can go back and digitally enhance. Look at that.
I want to know how they were going to take a drink of that alcohol with their masks on. What were you planning to do there?
I dig it. Just pour it on each other?
Wow. Have we just gotten butt stupid as a society? Haven't we?
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, man.
Why? I don't know. They want you to double mask now. They talk about they want the cloth mask over the surgical mask. Because
cloth over the surgical.
Cloth over surgical. It offers more protection against the coronavirus. As does tying knots on the ear loops of the surgical masks. So that's the new guidance for your mask wear.
Tying? Why?
Optimal protection.
That's really weird.
Yeah, tie your knots. You know how you bring it up and then you I thought it was just to make it,
tighter?
Fit your head, but apparently
it's to make it tighter, a tighter fit on your face.
Yeah.
Which makes it even more comfortable and more wonderful to wear. Makes me love it even more.
It's like a designer mask.
Yeah,
right
that's
off
great.
the bat like that when you haven't looked.
It's great. Yeah, the tight-fitting mask is super. So you feel like you're being choked and suffocated at the same time. That's great.
That's important.
I love it.
To be that way.
Yeah, I love that sensation.
And I also, before we wrap up today, I want to mention something that I don't know that I believe or not. And I honestly don't know if it's true. I never thought I would see it in my lifetime. According to this story, and according to Tristan Thompson, the consulting and brokerage firm for Jamaica's legal cannabis industry, she calls it, or he, Tristan, I don't know what they identify as, is a cultural embarrassment. It's said that Jamaica is running low on ganja.
What?
I know. I don't know that I believe it. I don't know that I think it might just be a sales pitch, a ploy to raise the price a little bit. But according to this, heavy rains followed by an extended drought,
right?
Which they don't use the word climate change, but isn't that what that is?
Obviously,
an increase in local consumption and a drop in the number of farmers have caused the shortage.
Jeez. That's amazing.
I know. I don't know. I mean,
a shortage of ganja man in Jamaica? That's not good. That's not good.
I think that's exactly how Tristan sounded, too, as well. Oh, no.
Oh, wow.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, no. It's a sad, sad day. Today we found out
there's less ganja in Jamaica than there should be. There needs to be.
Running low on ganja. It's a cultural embarrassment.
Wow. That just makes your heart break, doesn't it?
It
does. Just breaks your heart for those poor Jamaicans.
A cultural embarrassment.
I mean, really, there's two things you know about Jamaicans, right? One, they run fast. Two, they smoke a lot of ganja.
Well, I'm going to add another one.
Okay.
All right.
Go ahead.
They bobsled in the Olympics.
Right. Right. Or at least they used to.
Yeah.
Yeah, back in the day.
I mean, that's a classic John Candy movie right there, man.
It is classic.
I love that movie.
Do you? Who can blame you? Because it's.
But again,
it's true.
That's the that's how they make a big deal out of ganja in that movie too.
Yeah, they do.
Jamaica is it?
Yeah, it's a ganja capital of the world.
Yeah. Well, not anymore. I mean,
apparently not.
Not if they're running low, man. They're in trouble.
Also, last week, the New Yorker ran an interview with San Francisco School Board President Gabriela López, 30-year-old former teacher leading the district's charge to bury American history. Wow, they've got a 30-year-old who is in charge of the San Francisco School Board.
Wow.
López was elected on a campaign to cancel history Under her leadership, the nation's 7th largest school district has spent its time not teaching its 57,000 students who've been learning online for almost a full year now. But instead, they've been plotting to take the names of historic figures off of more than 40 district buildings. The names targeted for removal, as we've talked about in the past, include Abraham Lincoln, George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, Paul Revere, and even Democrat Senator Dianne Feinstein.
Yeah.
The effort is part of a wave of anti-American iconoclasm that has swept over the United States in the past year. It's included violent activists toppling and vandalizing statues illegally, and city fathers taking down monuments and school names legally, sometimes in the dark of night. Christopher Columbus, Robert E. Lee, and Thomas Jefferson are among the most targeted historical figures in these, as are religious figures, including saints and Jesus. The New Yorker interview with Lopez reveals how political ideology has replaced knowledge especially among American leftists, younger American leftists. They seek to validate and replicate their ignorance among the youngest Americans by blacklisting and smearing historical leaders, and even sometimes glorifying really bad figures in history, like Mao. For some reason, they've got some sort of
love affair.
Yeah, they romanticize Mao. It's amazing.
Well, we can't say anything bad about China or anyone from China at any time.
Well, of course not. You'd be a racist if you did.
I love Chinese people too, but come on.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
Right. While Lopez initially claims the renaming of schools initiative aims to have students talking about the brutality and the truth that is often not discussed in our classrooms, it's really clear that she says truth, she doesn't really mean truth. She might mean poetic truth that conflicts with the actual truth, or you may not understand or believe in the concept of truth at all. But she apparently has a vendetta against our founding fathers and against even Abraham Lincoln, who did what? What is he kind of known for? Is there anything special or in particular that when you say Abraham Lincoln, something comes to mind?
Do you want me to answer that?
Yeah, go ahead. See if you can think of anything.
Okay. Starting a war.
Okay, he started a war. Right. So that's why we need to take him off.
He needs to be gone.
He needs to be forgotten completely in history. Yeah, the war that was started, not by him, by the way, but by the states that left in the first place.
Don't start bogging me down with your facts.
Okay, all right. But that war was fought to end slavery. To end slavery. And it was he who signed something called the Emancipation Proclamation.
Yeah,
is that a new ice cream flavor
under duress, under pressure, right?
I mean, it never ends.
No, it never.
It never
the
ends.
Hatred of our history.
Yep. Finish off the week together tomorrow.
Gray, only on the Blaze Radio Network.